Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 20th. We're continuing in the one-year Worship the King devotional. Today's title is The Big Picture. This comes from Isaiah 51, 1 through 8. I'm going to go ahead and read that now. A call to trust the Lord. Listen to me, all who hope for deliverance, all who seek the Lord. Consider the rock from which you were cut, the quarry from which you were mined. Yes, think about Abraham, your ancestor, and Sarah, who gave birth to your nation. Abraham was the only one man when I called him, but when I blessed him, he became a great nation. The Lord will comfort Israel again and have pity on her ruins. Her desert will blossom like Eden, her barren wilderness like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found there. Songs of thanksgiving will fill the air. Listen to me, my people. Hear me, Israel. For my law will be proclaimed, and my justice will become a light to the nations. Mercy and justice are coming soon. My salvation is on the way. My strong arm will bring justice to the nations. All distant lands will look to me and wait in hope for my powerful arm. Look up to the skies above and gaze down on the earth below, for the skies will disappear like smoke, and the earth will wear out like a piece of clothing. The people on earth will die like flies, but my salvation lasts forever. My righteous rule will never end. Listen to me, you who know right from wrong. You who cherish my law in your hearts, do not be afraid of people's scorn, nor fear their insults. For the moth will devour them as it devours clothing. The key verse here today is, lift up your eyes to the heavens, look at the earth beneath. The heavens will vanish like smoke, and the earth will wear out like a garment. Isaiah begins chapter 51 comparing his readers to rock and pointing them back to the quarry from which they came. They didn't know what kind of stone they were made of, having forgotten the legacy of faith passed down to them by Abraham. Having reminded them of the past, Isaiah now points them ahead toward what is to come. Their situation will look a lot better from the proper perspective. The right perspective, of course, is a matter of focusing on the eternal plan of God rather than on here and now. When God's people see the temporary nature of suffering, persecution, and discipline from God's hand, and see beyond all that to the joy that lasts forever, he can bear a lot more than they could when they saw from the old perspective. When people get a glimpse of who God is, their preoccupation with where they are tends to fade away. When God is magnified in the eyes of his people, everything else gets smaller. Perspective changes a lot of things. Isaiah had a personal encounter with God and then wrote prophecies that spanned the rest of time, all the way to the end of the age. That's not a coincidence. Big visions come from a big God. But when people don't encounter God, their vision gets blurry. They become nearsighted and develop tunnel vision, and all they see is the bad stuff. To someone without an eternal perspective, the glass is always half empty. To someone who has seen God, the glass is always overflowing. When you look at your life, what do you see? Is your glass half empty, or is it overflowing? Have you focused your gaze on the little silver sliver of time riddled with problems and pain? Or have you put down the magnifying glass, broaden your vision, and seen the big picture? It's important to do that because the big picture looks fantastic from afar, especially when you're able to take in the dazzling glow that comes from behind the clouds. Whatever trial you're going through, it will pass. The salvation of God, however, will never fade. And there's a quote here that says, "The created world is but a small parenthesis in eternity." That's by Browne. That's all I've got for today.